Hey, what's good, everybody? Hope you're all well. I'm gonna try to get through this as fast as possible because I do have to get going, right? But I felt like I needed to do it in all signs. Hey, Brittany. Oh, okay. Hey, Adiverma. Hope all is well. Yeah. So it's funny, right? You mentioned that, Brittany, because I haven't read the email, but I saw your comment, and I had a really interesting experience last night, which is kind of why I was inclined to do this reading, right? So let me share the story, right? Because like I said, I'm limited on time, so I'm gonna try to get through all the signs and then open it up for questions. So last night, I fell asleep. I was feeling nostalgic watching this movie called The Hurt Locker. If you haven't seen The Hurt Locker, oh, I'm great. Thank you, Adi Verma. How are you? How are you, Brittany? Hope you both are well. Um, So I fell asleep watching this movie called The Hurt Locker. If you don't know what it's about, check it out because I don't know if I talk about what it's about if YouTube flags you for that. So, I was watching this movie called The Hurt Locker because when I was young, like fresh out of high school, that's what I was gonna go do, right? And I was feeling nostalgic because that's my whole what would my life have been like if that's the road I would have gone. So that's sometimes where I get like, I should have just done that, man. Like I should have just gone down that road, right? So if you haven't seen The Hurt Locker, check it out. I had even done an interview. That was gonna be my path. And then I ended up going, oh, I was kind of like, I had my devil moment, right? Where, oh, all this I will give to you. And all the earthly things started falling on my lap, right? I was making money. I had this, I had that. So that's when early on, right? All that temptation, all the stuff fell on my lap, and so I didn't end up going, right, so all that stuff. So anyways, that I was watching that movie. I'm sharing that because you could see that it has nothing to do with the dream I had, right? Just to see how I don't think there was anything to influence this dream, right? So in the movie something jumped out at me, right? And it was that how even this guy was so connected to the work he did. There's this scene where he's with, and that's why I decided to make this kind of like about love, right? Or relationships. There's this scene where he's trying to tell the wife about his work, right? He comes back, right? He was deployed, he comes back and he's trying to tell her, and she's like, oh, could you chop the carrots or something, right? And he's just like, boom. Then they show him back over there, like in war, right? So that was the interesting thing, right? Like he's over here trying to share about some of, and it's heavy, right? It's heavy, but hey, like it's heavy the stuff, but he's like trying to share, and oh wow, that made my stomach turn as I'm saying that, right? Okay, so that's interesting, right? So now going into the dream, right? So that jumped out at me for some reason, right? Now it made my stomach turn, right? That action of like him trying to share some of this stuff and then her just being like, oh, okay, yeah, okay, could you cut the carrots or something, like that. Very dismissive, right? So in the dream it was really weird because it almost seemed like tied into the song I had released, which the song is about like kind of coming out of toxic relationships and all this and that, and it's very celebratory, right? Like celebrating life after dealing with all these kind of things. So it was almost like, I don't know if you guys are familiar with oh, okay, all right, cool. So in the dream there was like a huge like swimming pool, right? But it was like in the air, right? Like it didn't have any borders. It just kind of like went up. And so everybody would, it reminded me, I don't know if you guys are familiar with, in California, we have raging waters where they have this huge pool that makes waves and you sit in there on those floaty things and it gets crazy. I almost drowned in there when I was a kid and my cousin saved my life, but that's another story, right? But it was funny, right? It was this big old thing. And it was funny because my nephew was there and he's a Leo, and I know today's full moon is in Leo, right? So everybody's in this huge, like exaggerated amount of people, right? And then I even get on the surfboard, and so it reminded me of that song. So I know there's a connection to the song about like toxic relationships and all this stuff. Um, and so I'm surfing on the thing, and my nephew's even looking at me like I can't do that, and I'm like, oh, I'm trying to encourage them, like, oh, it's easy, right? I'm on the and the surfboard has a sail too, so it was weird. It was one of those, and there's so many people, but somehow I'm going through them and not hitting them, right? So it's cool, right? So, anyways, so that, and it's funny, like I said, that my nephew was there, and he's a Leo, right? And I'm Leo rising, so it's funny that we're in this, where I was having. It wasn't surprising me that I'm having this experience, right? So, anyways, after all that, I get off the surfboard and I'm right there, just like the people that aren't in the water are walking along the edges, right? Like there's a walkway around the whole water thing, right? Then there's like this man shouting and this woman, and it's almost like they're being led telepathically towards each other, but they're also, using their words, right? They're shouting for each other. And they're being led towards each other, and they make it through all this ocean of people. They make it to each other, and they're crying, both of them, and they're all like, oh, and I see you and you see me and this and that, and everyone's cheering, like, oh, everyone's cheering, and they're an older couple, right? But they're led to each other, and they're and almost like they were showing me, like, see, that's like true love. That's like love, right? No ego, no nothing. But like, I see you. Like they were just crying, and the way they were led to each other, both like almost, because in this ocean of, imagine, in the ocean of people, right? And they're being led towards each other. And when I woke up, I was analyzing it. They told me something, man. I lost it because I was remembering. Okay, remember this about. Oh, it was about two. Like, I think they kind of snuck in there as I was waking up in between states. They were kind of about red flags, like to know red flags, right? Like, I think so. I don't know. That was a special message for me, right? But anyways, um, but after I analyzed it too, and it reminded me very King of Cups, Queen of Cups, right? Like a very divine pair. Very. So what I was gonna say is, whoever that comes out for in today's. Look at, as I'm holding it, the victory card. That's so funny. Ha ha, with the heart. So whoever that comes out for it, you're gonna be uh the lucky sign, right? The lucky zodiac sign, because it felt very like Queen of Cups, King of Cups, right? And even both of them looked very stoic in the thing, right? But it was, I don't know, like there was just something interesting, right? Like a super divine parent, right? And yeah, it was like through this. Oh, I'm talking about, there was just so many people, and and yeah, I think he was walking along the corridor. She was walking through the water even, and I think he got into the water too, right? So they were walking through the water, right? Interesting, right? So I know there's a lot to analyze with that for myself as well, right? There's a lot of things because obviously those are emotions, right? The water, right? All those emotions, right? This ocean of wow, my whole heart's kind of doing the glowy love thing, right? So that's pretty interesting. So yeah, all that to say, I think they wanted to show me about like kind of an actual like divine pair, right? The very reciprocal energy, right? Of it. The no ego. Like, the man was crying, the woman was crying, like they were all like, I see you, right? This old, like, kind of, they weren't like old, but they were older than me for sure, right? I guess so. Maybe there was a maturity in that, right? Um, and you don't have to be an age to be mature, but there was a lot of things, that water, the emotions, the reciprocal stuff, the thing. So yeah, all that. Okay, so I'm gonna start because yeah, I know that went way more than what I wanted to make it. Let me see. Tide pools. Okay, that's what they're called. They're wave pools. I didn't. Yeah, yeah. I know you said you were Leo rising, right? Who, the people were speaking English? Yeah. It almost looked like an older white couple, right? But I don't think that was the the message behind it, right? I think the message was just the like what a actual um yeah. Like in the pool, it was like all these different people, right? But it was just like this old pair, right? That got. Oh, okay. Okay. Oh, okay, I got you. Yeah. I mean, yeah. Okay, okay. I know because I know we could keep going. See, like that story could be like the whole video, just keeping on going with that. But I'll read your email for sure, and let me get started. So the first sign, Aquarius, you versus them. So your energy first. Whoa, that one just flew out. Wow. Who knows? Maybe there'll be a. And it's funny. Look at the first card, a Leo card, right? With the full moon. So this is your energy right now, right, Aquarius? Bam, sitting on the throne. Someone that knows what they want, right? Confident, knows what they want. Bam. Ah, that's interesting, right? I like how she's holding the flower, right? She's holding the flower, right? I'm like, here, I got this for you, right? Someone that sees, so wow, that's kind of already connecting to the thing, right? Let's see. Okay. So that's your energy, Aquarius. Let me see the person you're connecting to, their energy. Ah, wow. Not exactly, but very generous, right? With the heart too, right? Very generous. And maybe that's what's making them stand out. And gender doesn't matter. Take it how it resonates. If you're a male feeling like you're in this Queen of Wands energy, or vice versa, however, right? Um, but so maybe you haven't even said anything yet, Aquarius. Maybe you've been watching somebody, right? And you're like, you know what? I like what I see. I see something there. Ah, okay. So is Aquarius taking any action towards this person that caught their eye? Probably a Taurus, right? Because there's the Taurus. I feel like you are gonna say something, right? Because reconocimiento is like you're gonna acknowledge something, right? Maybe see, and it's almost like giving a compliment and it not being like so being honest but not fully honest about how interested you are, Aquarius. So I don't know if you're playing kind of that game, right? See, so different from the Queen of Cups, King of Cups that I saw in the dream, right? That's why I said like that's the lucky couple. No, none of those games, none of nothing, right? Because it's almost like you're gonna be like, "Oh, you're such a hard worker," right? Like that kind of compliment, right? Instead of being like, "Oh, I like what I see." You know what I mean? That fiery thing, right? Like, I like what I see, and hey, oh, I heard a song this morning too, man. And I was trying to remember, okay, don't forget the song, because it was kind of like I think it had to do with like relationship stuff too. So I was channeling a song this morning. Um, yeah. So, anyways, yeah, I think you'll say something, Aquarius. Is just you're gonna do it in that slick way, right? Like, oh, maybe you see someone, oh, someone walking their dog, and you're like, oh, what a maybe someone you always see around the neighborhood, and you're gonna be like, oh, that's a nice dog, right? Like one of those things. Hey, the Divine Realm Tarot. Okay, so yeah, I mean, it looks good. It doesn't look like a bad thing. So maybe that's something going on in your energy right now, right? So whoever you're connecting with, Aquarius, they got an open heart, right? I think they'd reciprocate the energy. Wow. Wow. I know this is like but in this case, yeah, it's almost like because the other person is kind of unaware, and that, right? They're in some kind of, because I think it is that they're just kind of working away. They're really not paying attention to anything. And maybe you're the one noticing, so they're in that this Empress energy. So you're most likely gonna have to be the one that. Oh, and there's Taurus again. Wow. So Taurus and Taurus, right? Maybe you're connecting with a Taurus, or I don't know if you're gonna take that long till Taurus season to say something, but I think that's kind of that's what I'm picking up on, right? And also that, right? You see them as a star because the star card came out. So yeah. But they're oblivious just because yeah, they're just focusing on whatever they gotta focus on, right? Work or school or take it how it resonates. But it looks like you're gonna have to say something and you might do it in that slick way, right? Like, oh, you're such a hard worker. Oh, that's a nice dog. Okay, so now let's get into who Aries. I think last time we did it backwards. So Aries is feeling optimistic about something. This is your energy, something new, right? So you got you got your yellow boots on, uh, yellow coat, hat, feeling optimistic, right? Polishing your wand or whatever you're doing. I don't know. That's interesting. Um, and I think the same. You're kind of in an energy of whatever you're looking at. There's the Ten of Pentacles under, so there's something you're feeling optimistic about. So let's see. Okay, so that's Aries energy. Let's see who you're connecting with, right? Aries. Whoa. Uh-oh. Hmm. Well, it's funny because this says hope. I'm not sure in this case how it's going. My gut lit up to when I read that word hope. But yeah, maybe you're seeing someone as something that's getting away from you. Uh-oh, I don't know, my stomach kind of started turning with that. So let's see. It's weird though, because you're optimistic. So let's see. Let's read into that, Aries. Optimism. Okay. Wow. You can't make it up. The Ten of Pentacles. Wow. So I think that's still Aries energy, right? It almost makes me feel like the won't take no for an answer kind of. Wow. Maybe you see this person as the King of Cups that I was mentioning in the beginning. Someone that's very open with the emotions, very honest, right? About very in control of their emotions. Okay. Let me try to make this quick. Okay, so what action is Aries taking? That's interesting, right? I mean, what I said is like if the both of them come out, right? Whoa, that one just flew out. Uh-oh. Why did the magician come out? Well, doesn't have to be well, maybe you're very aware, right? Aries, maybe you're very aware that speaking creates, right? Maybe not necessarily that you're over here trying to be behind the scenes with any kind of magical stuff, right? But you understand that you have to create things, right? Maybe creating opportunities or something, right? But speaking up because the throat chakra has jumped out, right? And there's that wand again, right? See, so there is optimism in the I'm gonna almost like a taking almost like a kind of taking no for not taking no for am I saying that right? Dude, I can't even that's funny that I'm talking about maybe you're having trouble communicating, right? Because obviously my words are stumbling, but you're very aware of speak, yeah, maybe you're into manifestations or things like that, right? But you're optimistic nonetheless about the situation. Even though both of these cards are facing, in the opposite direction. Okay, well let's just so we could go on to the next sign. What is the person Aries is interested in its action? Wow, that's crazy. Huh. That is very interesting. There's that Queen of Cups. But it's interesting because that person for their energy, the King and Queen of Cups came out. What I heard is it's almost like this person is not settling for nothing less, right? This person is very aware of that. And they're not settling for less, right? King and Queen of Cups. Bam. So that's really interesting. Okay. Wow. I could keep going, but then I think that's kind of that person's energy, right? Maybe that's why that. Interesting. Very interesting. Oh, yeah. Okay. 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 So that was interesting. That was interesting. Yeah. Hey, Zoe. Yeah, I'm doing all of them. Okay. So, okay. Hope that helps, right? Okay. So, yeah, I feel like Aries is very optimistic, right? As their little wand, is very aware of speaking things into existence and this and that. The person there whose energy they're connecting to is, yeah, sitting on their throne, not settling for nothing less, right? There's someone that is waiting to connect with a divine pair, right? Like that's kind of the energy I'm getting. So on that note, okay. Um, help me out here. Aries, Taurus, right? Taurus is next. Okay. Man, I hope I'm gonna have enough time to get through all of these. Okay. Taurus, your energy. Whoa, strength. Leo energy. Wow. Uh-oh. So why are you in this kind of strength energy? Taming a lion? What is that about? Hopefully that's not the relationship you're connecting to, Taurus, and you're like, I'm gonna tame this lion. Why is Taurus needing to have strength? You're gonna make me work here, Taurus. Everyone else was kind of to the point. Oh, you dealt with something shady. So you're overcoming something, right? Man. All right. Well, it's not surprising. I know there was a lot of that in closing, right? Okay. So okay. So who is Taurus connect? Is that the energy that Taurus is connecting to? How okay, so let's pull one more for Taurus then. How is Taurus feeling about love then? Are they just in a healing phase? Not really, they don't have love on the mind or okay, yeah, just recovering. That's it. Just taking time to recovering, right? Maybe kind of going through a not quite yet the death and rebirth, but calling on their strength, right? Maybe trying to take their power back after going through something, right? It's interesting how these are like, right? The yellow, the solar plexus, right? All that standing in your truth energy. And here's someone that's completely the opposite, and right, like a shady character. And look at the yellow now is like, oh, my whole heart just like did the little. Yeah, I think you're going through a recovery right now. So the person, I don't even know how to act, like the person that I guess Taurus is connecting to, because it doesn't feel like you're connecting to anyone. Wow. Queen of Cups. So maybe You're gonna wait for that divine pair. Here's another like I'm waiting for my divine pair. I feel like they're out there, right? They're out there. Someone that's gonna be compassionate. And that's what you're gonna wait for, right? I think you're gonna be in that energy of not settling for less as well, right? Maybe that's who why no, actually, right? We don't really know because yeah, that was in Aries energy. That was whoever they were connecting to, right? Yeah, unless they were connecting with a Taurus, right? But it looks like you're gonna be yeah, right now you're just in recovery mode, Taurus. So let me know if that resonates. And I think you're gonna hold off for now until you meet someone and maybe that's why that message came through in the beginning. As I was waking up, they were telling me about like paying attention to red flags, right? That's like a huge lesson. Red flags aren't right, like they're not to be ignored basically. Okay, so that's that. Um Aries, Taurus, Gemini. Look at as I split the deck. Oh, Gemini. Reciprocal energy, right? Two of Cups. That's so funny. Wow. Interesting. All right, Gemini. Okay, so what's Gemini's energy right now? Wow. You're like, I don't know, maybe you got things coming in, but you're gonna be like, you know, maybe you're gonna be feeling selective. Oh, Leo. Hmm. Standing in your truth, right? Very, very confident in what you know or what you expect, right? I like it. Okay, so if that's Gemini's energy, uh, okay, who are they connecting with? Whoa. Hmm. What talks about? Hmm, interesting. Maybe someone that's in a similar energy. Wow, interesting. Someone that's in a similar kind of energy, like, I'm not taking what I don't deserve, right? And it talks about wishes granted, right? Interesting. Someone that's very like, nah, I know, kind of like, and I know what I deserve kind of energy. And this is kind of a similar thing, right? Interesting. Seven and a nine. Interesting. Okay, so what's Gemini's actions? It's Gemini's actions. Hmm. Interesting. This came out for Gemini, right? Maybe you're just feeling very abundant and you're comfortable in who you are, right? So that's why it's like, don't come at me with no BS kind of thing, right? Interesting energy. But I guess for Gemini, right, you're in a very, obviously it's a very nurturing energy, right? So it's good. It's not like it's like that, right? Someone that's open to sharing that big old pentacle, but just knowing what you deserve, right? It's an interesting energy, right? Because it says sensuality, fertility, generosity, right? Protective and secure, right? Security. So there's a lot of abundance in that energy, right? So I think, yeah, I think Gemini is kind of just because this kind of makes me feel like that. Like there's offers coming in, but you're just don't like not willing to hear any kind of BS, right? And let's see the person. So why? Because it's weird. Because this kind of seems like a person that's not really making movement either, right? It feels like that. So let me see. What about the person that Gemini's connecting to? Oh, interesting. Celebration. I wasn't expecting that one. Interesting. Hmm. Celebration. Let's see. I don't know. It's kind of because here it almost looks like there is some kind of offer, but obviously, right? Very slow. Hmm. I don't know how I feel about that energy. It's a weird energy, right? It's not a bad energy because, like I said, it's almost like it's a similar energy to to Gemini, right? I mean, I'm feeling something in the heart space, and that's funny because this has the heart chakra, right? It's almost like someone that's open, right? But almost like they're not gonna be very almost kind of how who was it? Aquarius, kind of like the what a nice dog kind of thing. Like someone that's just almost like throws out a fishing line and sees if you'll take it kind of thing without really putting in too much effort, right? Interesting. I don't know. It's a weird energy. So, let's see, what did I? Yeah, yeah, absolutely. Oh, there is water, huh? I don't know. It's a weird energy. See? What am I saying? That is just a weird energy. Cause it's someone that see, it's like, they're playing it like, oh, I'm sitting over here too, this and that, but they're like, and then all of a sudden, right, they have an offer, right? But they're kind of just like that. And then next thing you know, it's like all of a sudden there's all this passion. So it's just a weird energy, right? It's like someone that's kind of restrained and maybe they have the epiphany that it's gonna take more than kind of a bare minimum energy, right? I don't know what happens that makes them all of a sudden want to rush in. That's an interesting energy. Like I don't know what switches in this person's brain. Yeah, it's weird, weird energy. So I don't know. I don't know how Gemini will even. I don't know. I don't want to keep going with that because that kind of energy, yeah, it's almost like. Okay, let me see. How would Gemini even react to that kind of interesting energy? Let me see. Man, I'm gonna go too long with this. Whoa. I think if Gemini catches a whiff of like wishy-washy energy, they're not with it, right? I don't think Gemini likes, and there's more Pisces energy. I don't think Gemini. Well, yeah, it makes sense, right? Geminis like clear communication, right? Geminis don't like to be breadcrumb, don't like to, you know what I mean? It's like spit it out kind of stuff. So that makes sense, right? That's kind of the energy, right? So yeah, okay, that makes sense. That made sense. That's why it was a weird energy, like just someone that's like this, and they're like, oh no, wait, now I feel all this passion kind of thing. And it's like, yeah, Gemini is like the last sign that wants to be dealing with games or anything like that. Did I skip Pisces? Oh no, that's gonna be the last one. Gemini, who's next? Cancer, right? So for Cancer, we got the Hanged Man. Cancer. Is that the energy you're in right now? So, uh-oh. That's a kind of a wishy-washy energy, right? Cancer. Okay, so that's Cancer's energy right now. Let's see the person Cancer is connecting with. Or should I ask? Okay, let me see. Why is Cancer in a hangman energy, right? Why is Cancer? Oh, okay. Not bad. You're in a hermit mode, right? You're learning stuff. Maybe you're learning more about yourself, searching for the spiritual, right? Tapping in. So that's not a bad thing. Okay. So Cancer's probably full. Who else was kind of on that? Taurus, right? Taurus. So Cancer's on a little spiritual journey, maybe, or just learning stuff. Maybe going back to school. Maybe you don't have love on the brain, or you kind of do, because whoa. But it looks like there's someone that's maybe that's why you're kind of should you entertain something, right? It looks like someone wants to, right? It says conquista. Someone's trying to conquer your heart. And maybe they're just testing the water. See, like even how the horse, like they're kind of close to the river, or I don't know if that is right, because it does kind of look far away, but they're like almost like dipping their toe, trying to see. Maybe they're trying to feel you out too, right? Maybe they feel that you're kind of in a hangman energy, so they're kind of taking their time, right? Cancer. Let me see. Right. Um. Okay. So it feels like this person is trying to read the room. They're still gonna say something, most likely, right? Or maybe they're already giving little hints, right? Like I think they'd probably be someone that would actually say a compliment, not just like, "Oh, what a nice dog," or "You're such a hard worker." That they'd actually be like, "Oh, you look very nice today," right? Or that kind of stuff, right? So they feel a little more, but he's still like holding back because I felt a slight thing in the throat. So I think for Cancer, you're kind of just you're focusing on whatever you're focusing on right now. What, like I said, whether it's work, whether it's higher learning, spiritual learning, right? Whatever you're kind of going through, it feels like you're more in that energy, right? That's your actions, right? Let's see what the person you're connecting to. Wow, they're optimistic. I guess they're gonna probably try it out, right? If you shoot them down, then you shoot them down. But I think they're kind of that energy of they're gonna try regardless, right? And maybe it is a little more lustful energy, right? Maybe right they're looking at you like you got it going on, right? So they're gonna try. And maybe it's kind of that energy, like, hey, well, if you don't want something serious, then maybe we could just have a little fling or something. I feel like that's kind of the energy. They're open to obviously, right? They're offering you their cup, but at the same time, it's like, wow, Almost like I'll take what I can get kind of energy. But I don't know how you're gonna. I mean, it feels like you're focused on what you're focused on, and they're gonna try. So, okay, let me see if this person comes at Cancer like this. Are they? How are they gonna react? Are they most likely gonna? I almost don't want to ask this question because then, but everyone's grown ups here, so I'm sure you can. Hmm, interesting. Wow, it feels like yeah, you're probably are on a little spiritual journey. I don't think you're gonna be with whatever the offer is, right? My heart even felt a little tight, like, or you're just gonna want to really hear it out, right? Like, well, what do you have kind of, what are you coming with kind of thing, right? So I don't know. It feels like you're gonna be focused because it is a maybe card, right? So that's interesting that that's kind of what I was getting about. You'll probably hear somebody out, but if it, so yeah, I'll leave it with that. Okay, Cancer, Leo, right? So Leo, oh, I should have done Leo first since it was Leo's full moon, right? Let me see, what did I miss? Hey, what does it say? Man, I need to zoom into the I I don't know, is that I balance? I don't know what that is, but or 18 balance or I 8 balance, I don't know. Heard about your name. That's 2 years later. I don't know what the conversation is, so I won't try to jump into it. But let's see for Leo. Leo. All right, Leo. This is your whoa. Things just jumping out, but that was too many cards. Wow, the Temperance Angel and Victory. So Leo's patience brings victory. Wow, I mean, it is the hard thing, so divine victory. Wow. I have to pull it just because it was underneath, right? But the sun even. Wow, Leo. Your full moon is like, bam, riding bareback on a white horse. Oh, and there's a white horse too, twice. Wow. Oh, and that's the Leo card, huh? Man, it feels very divinely interesting. Okay. So, what is it though? Like, that is interesting. Very divinely. Oh, my whole crown's lighting up. That's crazy. And none of these have like the crown chakra, but my whole crown is lighting up. Okay, but you're not really. So maybe. Okay, so is Leo like open to love right now or something, or what's? Feel like there's just a victory over something. I don't even know if it's love or wow, maybe yeah, celebration. Interesting. Celebration. That's interesting. The 6 9, huh? But let's see. Freaking Leo. Okay, so let's see. So this is the person. Interesting. Okay. So this came out for the person you're connecting with. 8 of Cups, right? Interesting. Maybe there was a connection that ended, right? And yeah, somehow there was something divinely guided on your side, Leo, and then someone you were connecting with. I guess let's see, why is this person that Leo was connecting with feeling like 8 of Cups energy? Let me see. Whoa, oh, that's interesting. Were they not willing to budge? Just someone that was stubborn. They wanted what they wanted, and that was it. My way or the highway kind of person. And then Leo was like, well, I guess it's the highway. Wow. And on your side, it was like, hey, when the angels got your back, well, yeah, I don't know. That's crazy. So I guess this person decided to walk away because it was like my way or the highway. Look at that. Maybe Capricorn, Pisces energy. Hmm. Wow, that's crazy. That's deep. I mean, but hey, I feel like, yeah, I don't know. Maybe it was very like divine intervention kind of thing. My way or the highway. My way or the highway. And yeah, it's almost like the angel was whispering, tell him the highway, right? Tell her the highway. Tell him the highway. Mhm. And even the horse is like, that's right. That's crazy. That's crazy. Okay. So any action on, I think the story already told itself, right? Well, hmm. I think now you're just kind of like the world's in your hands kind of thing, Leo. Like, I don't know what that means for love, right? But I don't think there's any choice really at this moment. You're just kind of like, okay, you're okay. I mean, better than okay, obviously, right? People are celebrating. There's the sun riding bareback on a on a white horse. So divinely protected, guided. I mean, wow. Okay. Wow, that is crazy. Ten of Cups. But I don't even know. I don't know. I just flipped the deck, so I don't know if that pertains to the other person or okay, so what is any last action from this other person then that Leo is dealing with? That's it. I don't know, it's kind of a weird energy. Maybe this is gonna make them really because this is like the marriage card as well. So I don't know if they wanted something solid or if they saw you as the Ten of Cups, because that was kind of the I mean, I flipped, and I was about to ask. So I don't know. They saw you as a Ten of Cups. They saw marriage, but if someone's not willing, like if someone's in a my way or the highway kind of energy, like, what option does that give you, right? If someone's saying my way or the highway, and they see you as their Ten of Cups, that's interesting. Hmm. Yeah, I don't know. I think, yeah, I don't want to keep looking into that because I think, yeah. Yeah, it's the Union card, right? But and especially with the Ten of Cups coming out before it. But see, I think even that dream, that's why that dream was so important, showing, right, what it's like, showing, hey, this, because that's kind of what I got when I had that dream. Anyone that barely tuned in late, you could rewind it and see, because that's how I started this whole reading, right? Because of this very detailed dream I had last night, right? And that's what was the energy, right? Like King of Cups, Queen of Cups, right? Two very emotionally mature, intelligent, uh, no ego based people that just express how they feel, or are very tuned into each other, right? Like they in the dream, they literally told each other, like, I see you, and you're my this, you're my that. They were just so like all the mushy stuff, but it was very reciprocated, right? Very reciprocated. So, right. So to if you're gonna deal with someone that's my way or the highway, that's clearly not a reciprocated energy, right? So okay, Leo, Virgo, right? So let's go on to Virgo. Wow, this is interesting. Hmm. Let me see. Okay, I'm just gonna take the top card because then we'll see what comes. If they come out again, then they come out again. But there was a few cards that flipped over. But for Virgo, the first one is how we started this whole thing, right? With the Aquarius. This was the first card that came out. So maybe you're in a kind of Queen of Wands energy, right? Very confident. You're looking at something that you like, right? Virgo. There's that Leo card. Wow, look at all that yellow too, that solar plexus energy. Even though it's third eye, right? I think you see somebody both in the spiritual, and there's a confidence to what you're feeling, right? Like you almost feel like you made up your mind about something, right? You got your eye on someone, right? Or something. I don't know why I said, because it could be maybe, yeah, who knows? Maybe you're not. Okay, so what see? I think you see someone or something, and you're kind of like, yeah, I could build a happy home with this person. So that's the kind of energy you're in right now, Virgo. Someone that's caught your eye, and you're like, okay, this is a happy home right here. Okay, so what about the person that Virgo is connecting with? What's their energy? Wow. Didn't this come out with like Aquarius too? Maybe you're connecting with an Aquarius. Maybe that's kind of, or maybe the person that's, or yeah, I don't know. Maybe that's what attracts you with this person. You're like, wow, you're such a hard worker or something. There's that solar plexus energy again. Maybe you feel like you'll be able to be abundant with this person, but for some reason, that's something that seems to, oh, well, Virgo is, right? It's an earth sign. You tend to want to feel security in this physical world, right? In this kind of 3D realm, you want to feel secure, right? So maybe that's kind of speaking to your love language, so to speak, right? The fact that you're seeing this person, you're like, okay, cool. Yeah, I like that work ethic turns you on for some reason, right? That's what's doing it to you, whether male, female, take it how it resonates, right? Maybe it's a Taurus that you're connecting to and something, right? So I guess this is someone that's oblivious too. So maybe that's how you're gonna come in, like, oh, you're such a hard worker, right? Without really saying it. I don't know. I feel like maybe you would give a compliment, right? I don't know. I'm getting that. I feel a different energy than with Aquarius. I feel like you actually might let it be known a little more. Wow. Maybe they thought about you too. Could look at. Interesting. This feels like they've actually noticed you. Maybe they've even had a dream about you, because it feels like there's a spiritual connection, right? With that third eye popping up and then you having the third eye too. I feel like there's been a connection at some point. Maybe you've dreamt about each other, but it was actually a connection. And they're just, you know, maybe they don't know, so they're not making any movement or nothing. But I guess hey, it's an equal interest. So I'll put it like that. There is an equal interest. So I guess Virgo, if you're wondering if you should hand that person their flower, I think maybe you should. Okay, so what action is Virgo gonna take? Wow, that's weird. I don't know. I don't know how do I read this? Well, it says hope. So maybe in this case it's like, are you traveling towards them? That because this is weird. This is usually obviously unless, right? Because it says leaving things behind. Maybe there is something you had experience from the past and now you're finally moving towards something new and that's this person. I don't know. Let me see. Is this you gotta make it complicated? I don't know. You're trusting your intuition with something. So I feel like if you are, I think you're just gonna trust your intuition. And this is a maybe card, right? So either you're gonna move, yeah. I don't know. I guess. Wow. Wow. It's funny. It's almost like Virgo wants to be secretive from us, right? I heard, I don't know how many of you are familiar with this movie called Matilda. This little girl Matilda, and she's like witchy. Oh, she's like a little, right? She's like she does magic and everything. And but it's not her. Someone says it's for me to know and for you to find out. And that's what I heard in my head. Okay, so I guess we're not. Let us know after what you decide to do. Um, Let us know what you decide to do, Virgo, because I think this person is just gonna be working away, but they do have an interest. So I'll just say that. That's funny. Virgo busted a Matilda, but it wasn't Matilda that said that. I know it was the other lady. I don't know if it's her stepmom or what, or mom, or but she goes, "It's for me to know, for you to find out." Wow. All right, Virgo. What song is that? That I got my mindset on you. Hey, Green Tea Foxy, how you been? Let me see. Oh, okay. No worries, Brittany. So Virgo next is Libra, right? I was about to say Scorpio, but Libra. Okay, so Libra, what's your energy? How much time do I got? Okay, Libra, what's your energy? Libra, what's your energy? Whoa, that's a weird combination. I feel like maybe you had been having financial restraints, so you're just, it feels like you're in a more abundant place, but almost like you don't want to fall back into that. So maybe love isn't the number one thing on your mind right now. I feel like you had came out of this. Maybe that was your 2025, right? So you were already like, okay, this year I'm just gonna focus on being as abundant as possible. It doesn't mean you're closed off to love or nothing, but I feel like that's just gonna be your main focus. Okay. So, okay. So is there a person that's connecting to Libra right now? Looks like there's someone that's thinking about you, but they're up in their head. They're having nostalgic memories. Maybe you two didn't end so well or something. I don't know. Someone feels like their hands are tied, but maybe their hands aren't tied. It's just, wow, look at as I split the deck. The Ten of Cups. Wow. So maybe someone really saw that. They're feeling nostalgic, like if you were their Ten of Cups, and they don't feel like there's anything they could do at this point. Okay. So guess I'll just ask. It feels like you're just focused on your money, so I might as well just ask for them then. What is this person's actions towards Libra? Damn. I mean, they're really feeling like almost like you're the one that got away kind of energy. Like they feel like, yeah, like you're it. Whoever this is really feels like you're it, right? So if this person came forward, what would be Libra's energy towards them? Something happened, right? Or maybe you just, I don't know, whatever happened, something didn't work out in the past. So what would be Libra's energy? Hmm. You'd be confused if they came forward. That's interesting. You'd almost wouldn't trust it. Like, why? Like, why if in the past this and that? I think you'd question it. That's what it feels like. I think you'd feel confused about it. You feel like they're up to something, like there's a hidden motive or something. Hmm. So maybe they're right to be up in their head. I feel like you'd really question it, right? So I think they just have to really present something, right? For you to give up that pinnacle, whether that represents your nurturing energy or this or that or love or anything, I think they would just really have to state their case about, because I think it would really confuse you if this person that's thinking about you really like came for. I think it would just confuse you, like why. So I guess that's kind of the energy right now, Libra. There's someone from your past that feels like you're the one that got away, and you're just focused on work, money, trying to just be stable, right? So that's that. Okay, so Scorpio. Oh, everything's good. Green tea, Foxy, everything's good. Just trying to get through this because I do have somewhere I have to be. So I'm hoping to get through all the signs. So Scorpio, you're in a. Thanks for asking. You're in a Queen of Swords energy. That's interesting. I heard something in my head, but I don't want to say it in a mean way, right? But it's almost in that. Oh, I'll say it this way. Sounds nicer. You're like in a mean girls kind of phase or mean guys, whatever. However you want to put it, whether you're a man or woman, gender's not, doesn't matter here. But you're in that kind of like. I don't feel that you're not open to love. Just like almost like you'd be very rude at this moment, right? Like if someone came up to you like, "Oh wow, oh, you look very nice" or something, you'd be like, "Okay, and like who are you? Like why are you telling me this, right? Like you're just focused on your responsibilities at this moment." Like, but it doesn't mean you're not open to love, because that's what I'm getting. I thought like the heart space thing, that's just how you're gonna come off, right? Like how they say that resting B face kind of thing, or but it's not so much that. It's more like just that was just funny, right? Maybe that really resonates with someone. Because I could see someone laughing in my head, like that resonated with somebody or whoever. Someone's gonna watch this and they're gonna resonate with that. Wow, wanted to flip over. Wow. So maybe the same. Because it flipped and then it went back in. That's crazy. But I'll just show you real quick. It was again the maybe you've been just focused on a lot of that queen energy, right? Like bam. Like just focused on third eye to both of them. Yeah, wow. Maybe you're on that Libra cusp, right? Maybe you're on that Libra cusp. Maybe you had scares with money or things like that. So you're just like, again, I don't feel that you're not open to love. You're just focused, right? You got responsibilities. That comes first, right? The responsibilities are first. But doesn't mean you wouldn't be nurturing it if you did connect with somebody, right? So, okay, the person that's thinking about, because yeah, so this doesn't feel like there's really anyone on your mind. You're just like, okay. Wow. Maybe because of that, that makes more sense. I think you came out of something that, or the whatever last thing you dealt with, maybe you're still kind of connected to somebody. I know Scorpios, yeah, see my gut lit up. I know Scorpios tend to hold on to things. They don't let go as fast as some of the other signs, right? Like Scorpios will really, like, I think no one could hold a grudge like a Scorpio, even, right? So, again, I don't feel like you're jaded by love, but I don't know. Maybe you're just kind of, who is this Five of Swords? Who did you argue with, or who did you argue with? Why is this person's energy like Five of Swords? Wow. I feel like you were dealing with someone that was fighting some kind of battle. I hope that wasn't you, right? Maybe the relationship did feel like too much, right? Or they were dealing with their own things and it kind of came out on you. It could have been someone that was dealing with their own struggles, whatever it was, just trying to get through that. And then they would take it out on you. So you're just like, you know, I don't know if you two are taking a break or, right? Because even this one's like a failure to communicate, right? But then because you're kind of in that same energy too, like, all right. So is this person taking any action towards Scorpio? Wow, I think they are. See, I don't like these kind of energies because it's like, no, maybe they did some self-reflection because this does look like someone that, okay, I see. Right? Like, so maybe I spoke too soon there because my stomach kind of turned when I said that. So, but I guess they do see you as a star, right? Scorpio. So maybe someone is gonna say something. Maybe they did have time to reflect. Maybe they do see where they self-sabotage something, right? So, oh wow. Interesting. Scorpio and Scorpio relationship. I didn't even know those existed. I'm just playing, but that's funny. That's interesting. Combination. That's interesting. I don't know why when you said that, I pictured two, because I think I had before my brother, right? He used to have like two scorpions, and sometimes, right? Like when they start hitting their little claws together. That's funny. I don't know why that image came in. Interesting. Wow. Yeah, so I mean, I feel like they understand, right? They see you as a star, but so I feel like they are gonna say something at some point. Hopefully, it's in honest communication because they understand the self-sabotage. So that's kind of what I'm getting, right? And I think, Scorpio, you're gonna sit on your throne and you're open to listening, right? But you're not gonna go out of your way, right? You're not gonna fall off your path. You're not gonna, right? Like you're very focused, right? That happens sometimes in relationships, right? We could get into relationships where they lead us down that path, right? Where you start losing opportunities, it hits you financially, all kinds of things, right? So it's not a bad choice, right? If someone's not coming correct and they're not showing that it's worth all that effort, then yeah. Okay, so after Scorpio, Sagittarius, right? What do I have? Okay, let me see. Sagittarius. Wow. Oh man. That was a strange. You're in a kind of King of Cups energy. After a death, right? There was a full blown like end of something, right? So I'm taking it was matters of the heart, something, right? But you're in a King of Cups energy, and that's kind of what you're aiming for, right? Look at Pisces energy. It's like you 100% know what you want. It almost feels like whatever thing you went through last, like that's it. Like you know what you want, very that, right? Like you're not gonna like you'll catch the red flags if anything, right? Or hopefully, because I got chills when I said that, but then there was like a I hope you're not like a glutton for it doesn't feel like it, right? But hopefully you're yeah, I think yeah, so many see like the red flags and then just choose to ignore them, right? Huh. Okay. So that's your energy, Sagittarius. You know what you want. Like seasoned veteran with the emotional landscape, right? Like you've really mastered that aspect of your life, right? But it came at a right, you went through something. It came at a it was a big lesson to learn, right? That's what it feels like. Very to the point. So someone you're connecting, they have I feel like there's an offer coming in, right? They feel like you're very spiritually connected. Maybe an air sign, and they're willing to fight for it. Let me see. What is Yeah, someone's rushing in. And there's that heart chakra, right? I think someone's rushing in, right? I get that energy of someone even being like, hey, if there's any other options, like I'm the best option, right? Like that's where I'm getting. Like they're willing to fight for it. Okay, let me just ask. Um, yeah, because it doesn't feel like you're really making any kind of movement at this point. Like you just know what you want. Okay, so what's Pisces? What's maybe you're connecting with a Pisces, who knows? But what's Sagittarius action? Sagittarius. Uh-oh. I don't know when this person, maybe it is, I don't know if it's someone from the past or what, because there's a tower. So I don't know if this person rushes in, if you're gonna be like, hey, well, whatever BS you came with in the past, either you come correct, right? You give me my 10 of cups, or I ain't settling for less, right? Yeah. That's interesting because it feels very like in sync with the dream I had, right? So for those of you that tuned in late, check out because that's how I started this whole reading, right? I had a very detailed dream last night that kind of led me to do this reading today. So I feel like if this person comes in, so I mean it already feels like that's their action, right? Let me see. What else? What other action? Sagittarius. Wow, it just yeah, a lot of energy. Like they're coming in. They're coming in. I think that my heart, I feel it in the heart, like, because this is also the free will, right? Like power over your own free will, right? Card. Not just like something's, but also the power over, like you have power and strength over your own free will, right? So I think it's someone that's very sure that they want this connection with you, Sagittarius. Um, yeah, they're gonna come in very like, look at the way this is looking, this flipped over too. Like they're looking right at you supposedly coming in with this Libra energy, right? Even that 6-9 looks very balanced, right? The Libra, the 6-9, and I guess you're just gonna lay it out, right? Like, hey, maybe you're just gonna be very blunt, like, hey, whatever you, if you're coming in the same as you were before, that's not gonna work, right? So I feel like that you are gonna drop some kind of a tower on them, right? Like, hey, I want you to know that before, like your energy was garbage or something, right? Because it just feels like that, right? Hey, Barb, you have an awesome day as well. Um, oh, hey, Brittany, how are you? So now we're on. So okay, that's it for Sagittarius. Who's after Sagittarius? Capricorn, right? Okay, so I have. Whoa. So right away, Capricorn pops up. Man, how do I block? Look at the devil, Capricorn in the world. The devil in the world. A lot of nakedness, nakedness there, right? So that's so funny. Capricorn. All right. So what's Capricorn's energy? Are you feeling in that devilish energy? Lusty? Let me see. Capricorn's energy. That was funny. A lot of nakedness there, Capricorn. Whoa, more nakedness. Wow. That is funny. Yep. So I guess Capricorn's thinking about stuff right now. You see someone, I guess you do have your eyes on somebody, right? Someone that you see as a star, and you're just like, yeah, I guess you're in that kind of let's get it on energy. That is funny. All right, Capricorn. Capricorns. Uh-oh, are you? I don't know. Okay, so what else? What else is Capricorn over here? Okay, well, they're seeing someone as a star. Let's see, what's this person's energy? Because clearly I mean, there's really no mistake with that, right? You're looking at somebody. Ah, so someone's over here being the magician. Interesting. What is it? Mercury, Gemini, Virgo. I mean, communication. Maybe it's something about the way they talk, something that's kind of what's turning you on, or I don't know what. Like, hmm, maybe they're a creative person, right? Because obviously the magician creates. Well, I don't know. Maybe it's something like that, right? Like you're seeing them as the wounded warrior too, like that they keep persevering, right? No matter what happens, they just keep going. Interesting. Interesting energy. Okay. So, what are Capricorn's actions towards this person that they got their eye on? Wow, 10 of cups. So yeah, so it's I mean, it's not I guess you're not just lusty, but you actually see something with them. So it's not just like, okay, so there's a lot of appeal there, right? You really even though that's the maybe you're just very attracted to them, um but you actually do see like the 10 of cups, right? So that's pretty interesting. Okay. So let me see what's this person's action towards, I guess, if Capricorn. Wow, it looks like they'd probably reciprocate it. I think they'd be more, I don't know how you'd come. Maybe you'd make it very known and they'd just be kind of like testing the waters, right? Maybe their energy would be like, I don't know if you'd come in just very open about it, right? Like, hey, let's get naked. Let's, because there was just so much, all the naked cards. It was like the world, the devil, the star, right? I don't know if there's any other naked cards in there. Oh, just the lovers, right? The lovers. So I don't know what that. Yeah, I think because the Ten of Cups came out, at least I know that there is some kind of like it's not just lust, right? Obviously, because you really do see something, but you want to get straight to it, right? Like you want to, yeah, you want to have that physical connection, right? And I feel like they'll be open to it. They're just gonna be more reserved, right? Like if you're already seeing like let's get married, right? kind of thing, they're just gonna be like, well, hey, like you're already ready with the 10 cups, and they're probably like, well, I got this cup, but hold up, like I don't know about the other nine quite yet. Let me see, right? Like they're filling it out. So I mean, it's not a bad thing. It's just yeah, right. Maybe almost like someone that's not aware, right? Clearly, you see them as the star. So maybe it's someone that you've already been watching and they're like, well, I didn't know, but hey, I'm interested, but that kind of energy, right? So I don't know. That's interesting that that came out. So that's kind of what I see. So someone that's open. Let me see. Yeah. Hey, man, I can't. My eyes are tripping today. Hey, Debo, how's it going? So Capricorn, who's next? Capricorn. It would be Aquarius, right? But I already did Aquarius, so is it Pisces? And that's it, right? We got through all of them. Oh, Pisces, last but not least, Pisces. After this one, I might take like a quick couple of whoa, wow, Pisces, the world. So you just had something finished, right? Ah, it's crazy. The world. Unless that's kind of the energy you're in, right? Like kind of letting it all hang out. Unless the Capricorn has their eyes on a Pisces right now that's prancing around naked. I don't know. Let me see. Oh, I don't know. Hopefully that's not like some stalker kind of energy. That's weird. Hopefully not. Let me see. Okay, what else for Pisces? The world. Okay. Hmm. The Temperance Angel. Interesting. I don't know. Okay. Wow, that's interesting. Maybe right now, just yeah, you're not really focused on love. It's more like you're grounding yourself, you're closing out cycles. Oh, wow. So there is there well, I mean, it's you, Pisces, right? Hangman. Well, there's more. See, patience, right? Sacrifice and patience. Hmm. That's interesting. But it feels like divinely, right? Maybe divinely, you were divinely guided to close out a cycle, but maybe you're seeing the light bulb moment, you're having it, or you haven't quite got there yet, but it's it's coming, right? If you're in a hangman. And it's funny how the yellow, see, it's almost like something, the blood still has to rush to your head so you could have that light bulb moment about what your truth is, right? That standing in your truth, making its way to your head, right? That's pretty funny. See that solar plexus, that's so funny. That's so funny. Yeah. Well, for right now, I don't know. It feels more like I mean, if that's what resonates, but it feels like there were cycles that were closing. I'm not getting so much the travel, but if it does, right, if you are traveling, then maybe that. But even with the hangman, that kind of clarifies it, right? Like I don't feel like it's so much traveling. It's more like maybe traveling within, right? Unless you're traveling in the spirit world or something, really making sense of things. But yeah, yeah, see, just focusing, right? But look at there's more of that solar plexus energy. So it could be working on yourself, right? Not just like finances. Okay. Let me see. So I don't know. It feels like you're really not focused too much on love right now. So who's connecting with Pisces? Wow, it looks like a new offer is gonna come in. So maybe while you've been doing your work, right? Trusting the divine guidance. Even if you don't know, right? Sometimes while we're sleeping, there's things going on, right? Maybe you're on a whole adventure, right? Like in the spirit world, the angels are taking you places or showing you things. And sometimes we just, when we come back, we don't bring it all back, right? Because sometimes I don't even remember that I had any dream. And then near the end of the day or midway through the day, like, wait a second, I did dream a whole adventure. Like, what? Why didn't I remember? Right? Something will trigger it. Something will be like, wait a second, I was on a whole adventure. So I feel like there's something coming in. Look at as I split the deck. Didn't this come up for you even? Brittany, something about nostalgia. So someone's gonna come in, maybe work related, but there's a nostalgia there. Interesting. So okay, someone's coming with an offer. What action are they taking towards? I mean, it looks like that is the action, right? But hmm, maybe that someone that before wasn't the nicest person, right? They kind of had a sharp tongue. They didn't have a mature way of communicating, but now they want to come in with some kind of offer. Interesting. But it is a page, right? So, okay. Wow, my whole crown is lighting up. So, yeah, wow. Wow. So someone's really coming in. I feel like they're gonna come in with kind of oh, they're gonna try to make something up. Maybe they're gonna come, oh, hey, I got an work related opportunity, but really they are interested, right? And that's why, see, people that don't know how to say things straight out, right? Because this is that mature energy, right? Which is funny, right? Because Aquarius kind of had that energy, but they're very aware, right? But just that's their way, right? Like Aquarius's energy was more of coming at it from a different way, right? This one is like a mature energy that just doesn't know how to, or in the past maybe they didn't. Maybe now they, because there was that nostalgic energy, right? So I feel like that's their plan. Someone's coming in with some kind of offer. Really, it's because they're interested, but they might make it sound like it's something else, right? They might make it sound like, oh, well, this or that or something, right? So that's kind of what I'm getting with that. What are, I guess, what's Pisces' reaction towards that if someone comes in like that? Hmm. That was weird because it did a whole flip within the deck while I was shuffling. It did the whole flip and it landed back in the deck. That was really weird. But yeah, it did the whole flip. But victory, I don't know. There's some kind of, maybe you'll feel, I don't know if you're necessarily gonna want to entertain something with this person, but there's some kind of justice with that, right? Like a victory. Like, I don't know if you're just gonna like you're gonna feel flattered about it or something. Because that's interesting that it wanted to show itself, but it didn't. So are you being secretive like Virgo too? Pisces, you don't want to tell me exactly. Oh, wow. The lover. See, you were trying to be secretive. There's that other naked card, right? But that was obviously with the Capricorn that had all that. So maybe you do still carry something for this person, right? Oh, and look at that's Gemini energy, and this a sharp tongued person is Gemini energy too. Maybe there's something. Maybe you actually, I don't know. Some people oddly enough are attracted to people that talk in a mean way or something. Interesting. So it feels like there is an interest there. Maybe sometimes they gave you a headache because I had this slight pressure right here. Maybe sometimes they did give you a headache, but there's a mutual interest there. Wow, and this is a six and this is a six. The lovers is the six, and then this is a six card. Right? Six six, Gemini. Gemini energy. Maybe they mirror you in some way. Maybe there's something, right? Some kind of twin energy. Interesting. Okay. So on that note, I'll close it out. That was the last one. I'll take one or two questions if someone's really dying to ask a question because I don't have a lot of time, right? I know there were some that were patiently waiting. So if anyone has a question, if I just pull one card per person, then maybe I could do maybe 3 or 4 questions. So just whoever types them in first. Let me see. Let me read what you were saying, Brittany. Yeah. Yeah, yeah. And it came out. Oh, okay. So it was you resonate with that then, Brittany, like a twin flamish kind of experience. That's funny. Okay. Well, maybe everyone already logged out that had questions, right? So thank you so much, Brittany, for helping me out with that. Yeah, I'll wait like a minute or something because I know there's a delay on here. And if nobody hops in with questions, then yeah, I know this was a little long. maybe people tuned out before I got to the questions part. So, but I'm sure maybe with the all signs, people got their questions answered, right? So let me see. I'll wait another minute and then let me just type this in right now because after that, I'm just gonna get going. Okay, I'm gonna get out of here then. Thank you all for tuning in. Maybe, yeah, maybe later on tonight I could get on here and just do a collective check-in and for the full moon again, even though I already did, and then that way I could get to people's questions, right? So if anyone had a question, then just tune in tonight, and maybe we could go through that, right? I'll just do a quick collective check-in, full moon energy, and then answer questions for anybody. Okay, everybody have a great day. I'll see you all soon. All right, you have a beautiful day as well, Brittany. Okay, thank you, everybody. Peace.